The 10-minute drill.
This is a big one.
Covered by Universal Roof and Contracting. The difference is universal.
On 1010XL.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
All morning, we're rocking your Valentines Day, giving you a chance to pick up tickets, 2 tickets to the big summer tour show that's coming. As you know, if you like hair bands, we're in the right place today. Huh?
That'll be later today.
A good chance.
That'll be fun.
There's a good chance I'll be rocking and rolling.
That'll be fun. That'll be a fun day. The text line is smoking.
Yeah, were you smoking in the boys' room down at Daytona?
Oh, man. No.
Is this Motley
no
Crue?
heaters.
This is Motley Crue smoking in the boys' room.
And they did smoke. They didn't do the original smoking in the boys' room, did they, Hick? It's smoking in the boys' room like an old 50s tune or no?
What's that now? Old 50s tune?
The text line is, smoking in the boys' room, was Motley Crue the original, or was that an older song they redid?
Looks like Brownsville Station did.
Brownsville Station is the one I know.
Okay,
the one we know.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I knew that one too, but yeah. The text line is spoken after hearing your horn story from the tunnel of Daytona.
Yes.
Everyone completely understands why you got flipped off on the highway.
I don't mind getting flipped off. I was thrown the bird.
Well,
again.
Maybe you should have been, I guess.
Getting flipped off is okay.
That's what people are saying.
Getting thrown the bird with such anger was a little bit disconcerting.
People were angry with you. I'm sure that poor lady from Davenport will be angry for a long time. In fact, she may never go back to Daytona because of that.
She didn't go down. She was fine.
Well, you say that.
Yeah.
Sometimes sometimes the consequences show up the next day.
Seems to be 3 or 4 people dropping the day
Bobby,
after.
go wake Grandma up.
You know what I really, really, really want, Dan Hicken?
You really want what you really, really want.
I knew it was a mistake as it came out of my mouth. I swear I did.
Tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
I really.
It's like doing
Really,
a show
really, really
sometimes with
want
a
a zig,
dude
zig,
with
ah.
Tourette's. Like, just
What do you got?
explosive, just anyway. You've made me forget, golly, or
Yes.
we can have a real thick, juicy, emotional, historic storyline Monday morning with this Tiger deal.
Oh, if he wins?
I mean, it's beyond just if he wins. Okay, there's so much intrigue here. First of all, it's the tournament he's played the most without winning. 13th time he's played.
Yeah.
There is a hole on that golf course, a tournament he's played 13 times, that he's made 1 birdie on in his life. That's crazy.
I hate that hole.
I mean, he's played it like 50 times. He's only made 1 birdie? That's crazy. All right, so anyway. So you got that. If he's in the top 10, he's got his 200th top 10. He's playing as the host of the tournament. He's playing where he made his PGA debut as a 16-year-old amateur at this tournament. And most importantly, if he wins this week, it would be his 83rd. And it would be right there in his neck of the woods of where he grew up. It's just there's so many elements coming together here that if Tiger wins this event to break the record and set the new standard, and it's just got a lot of elements. It's going to lead to a really big story. I'm looking forward to Sunday afternoon's golf. I think he's going to stick around watching the way he played. Now, he really, really tumbled at the end of the round, so that's concerning. That front 9, Dan, if he played, you were probably on your way down to get to see it. Mm-hmm. The front 9 that Tiger played yesterday.
Eagled one.
It was as good a golf as he's played in a long time.
That's good.
Everything was down the middle and on the green.
Mm-hmm.
So,
he's got a lot of work to do, but yeah, it should be fun watching out in L.A. The Genesis. Although Justin Thomas, my guy, is +3, so I'm a little bit miffed at him.
Did someone pick Cooch this week or no?
Nobody picked the Chet Cash.
Good.
No, I thought about it too, and now I have deep regrets.
Who'd you end up with? Koepka and who?
I had the first pick, so I took Rory.
Ooh, well, he's in good
He's a
shape.
good shot. I had
Might
Tiger and someone.
make a run.
I don't remember who I had with Tiger.
He's no Matt Kuchar, though.
So look, there's a mob mentality here in baseball right now, and I understand. I'm going to illustrate both sides. Jim Crane was terrible yesterday.
He's the Astros owner.
And it was so bad that, like, everybody seized on the one line he said where, it didn't give us an advantage. It did, and then somebody asked him, why would you say it didn't give you an advantage? He goes, I didn't say that. Well, you said it 30 seconds ago, numbnut. Mm-hmm. But anyway, that aside, and then Altuve and Bregman went up there and didn't take questions. That wasn't good. But I will say, in the locker room, the Astro players went and stood by their lockers and answered everything. Like, Carlos Correa was very good. Did you watch him at all?
I just saw. I saw his. I didn't see his whole press conference.
Well, he answered everything.
But I did see his.
He
I
had
saw his
remorse. And I like one other thing too. The Astros, those dirty cheaters, are trying to make Beltran the scapegoat in this thing because he's not with the club anymore, right? So, and Correa finally said, "Hey, BS on that too." By the way, Carlos Beltran was one of our greatest teammates I've ever had. He's a great guy. and we're all guilty here. So that's fair, man. They all talk like some of them. They've all tried to make Carlos Beltran the 100% scapegoat.
I'll tell you what else
thing.
was weak
And I don't
yesterday,
like that.
Dan. What else was weak yesterday? It's almost as if they all got the company memo the day before. They went out of their way to emphasize and keep saying 2017. You dirty, rotten scumbags. It wasn't just 2017.
Yeah.
You're some kind of losers. You can't. I'm not buying any other side to the mob mentality. The Astros have not been properly punished. I'm not like a social warrior. I say give them hell every chance you see them all year long until baseball does the right thing. And Rob Manfred has done the wrong thing here.
Yeah.
Players are going unscathed for a player-instituted scheme.
Again, you say that, and then I would say to you, okay, well, let's go back in the history of baseball then and clean up all the cheating episodes.
No.
Why not?
Because that's forever ago. We
okay.
know now.
All right.
You didn't know now everything about those. Now it's
right.
right here in front of us. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not saying right every wrong in the world. I'm saying, I don't know, right the one that just happened right here in front of us.
Yeah.
In an era, by the way, of evolving technology, it's going to become easier and easier to do this kind of thing.
Well, I think they'll keep an eye on that now.
Yeah, but the next thing will come. I mean,
there'll always be something.
I mean, look, I can remember as a kid, Dan, I was watching a game in Wrigley. The guy's out there with a mirror. Remember that guy? It's like a mirror guy. There's somebody who was flashing signs you do with a mirror. There's been 1,000 different ways they do it.
Yeah.
But the egregiousness that they took it to, and the fact that it never went unchecked. Your boy Justin Verlander yesterday, he let loose on what his true character is when he doubled down on cheating by lying. And he did it by just throwing him a cliche, explanation. And he got caught with his big Pinocchio nose growing when he said this. I came in 2017 and I wish now I'd said more at the time. Oh, okay. What did you say? Grammys. No comment.
Yeah.
Oh, so in other words, you didn't say anything. So maybe what you should say, you liar, is I should have said something, not I should have said more, because you didn't say squat. They're just a bunch of liars. And to sit there and watch them yesterday was just the cherry on top. Rob Manfred, grow some Rawlings, and go back to Houston and right this wrong. Do it.
I will say this. I saw an interesting article yesterday, and I read it because I'm a Mets fan, but this is how it has affected other baseball players. Seth Lugo is a pitcher for the Mets, who's very effective coming out of the bullpen, is a very good pitcher for the Metropolitans. Well, but Seth Lugo wanted to be a starting pitcher. And so in 2017, it was September, and he was basically being given an audition to see if he could be a starting pitcher in Major League Baseball. So he was going to get 3 or 4 starts, and it would either build momentum or, stop it.
For the Mets?
For the Mets. Mm-hmm. So one of his starting jobs was he had been pitching fairly effectively, and he had a starting assignment in Houston against the Astros. And for like 4 innings, he was perfect, and then all of a sudden, trash can, a ba-boom, boom, and they lit his butt up. And so he basically said, I'm ticked about it because, you know what? Maybe it's the difference between me being a starter and not being a starter, because after that they said, well, we don't feel like you're a starter in this league, and they took it away from him. So those are the kind of things that this has brought about. And I will say this, going into this season, it is going to be tough when the Astros go on the road. But what would be really funny if you're in say the Astros are in Chicago to take on the White Sox, okay? And it's 4-1 White Sox, and it's the 5th inning, and there's 2 outs, and Altuve's up at the plate, right?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you hear this.
Right.
And then you hear, bam, right in the ribs.
It's coming.
That was the signal to drill you. Now sit down.
Yeah, they should. And I hope those jokers, and I'm also, and you know this, I'm anti-throw the ball at the guy. Mm-hmm. All right? So keep it away from the head.
Right.
Hit every one of those jokers for the first week of the season.
Oh, boy.
I will take a loss. Oh, shocking score here. The Dodgers lost to the Astros 38-0. They hit the first 41 batters of today's ball game and trailed 10-0 in the first.
Yeah. So that's something. Billy Donovan's getting honored Saturday night, tomorrow night at a 8 o'clock tip against the Commodores of Vanderbilt. Obviously, they're all important games for Florida, but a couple things about Billy D. He's doing a great job this year.
They're 33-22. They beat Zion last night. By the way, the other day I said Zion with the first of his many future career highs. He got it the next game. He had 32 last night. He was great again. Not good enough to make the Olympic trials, though, Dan. Those 40 guys. Not quite good enough to get that invite. Too
Say
important.
what now?
You know, Zion didn't get invited to the Olympic trials, the 40-man trials.
Zion did?
Right. But Kyle Kuzma, he'll be there. Yeah.
Ooh.
So will that Joe Harris guy. Trae Young, he didn't get an invite. There was another one, too. Who was the other one? Another really good young player. It wasn't on the list. They got these slappies from, slappy veterans who aren't even any good. But
well,
anyway, that's another story. Point being that Billy's team did it again last night.
Yeah, and I saw a stat, and I want to try to find it here before I butcher it. But do you know, okay, so how would you characterize Billy Donovan as an NBA coach?
I think he's been good.
Good? Yeah.
First of all, yeah, because here's the thing. He happens to coincide with there's nothing more than good coaches outside of Steve Kerr in the last 5 years.
Right.
I mean, they've dominated.
Well, here's a look at how coaches who have made the jump from college to the NBA have fared over the last 30 years. Okay?
Yeah, I think I know where this is headed.
So at the Leonard Hamilton was 19-63. The year I was born, by the way. Not so good. John Beeline is 13-40. Tim Floyd, Beef, you remember him.
Great Bulls coach.
280 winning percentage.
Marcus Pfizer era.
Lon Kruger, Jeff, you remember him.
He went to the Hawks and
361 winning percentage. John Calipari, 72 and 112. 391 winning percentage. Reggie Theus, 415.
He doesn't count.
Mike Montgomery, 415. Fred Hoiberg, Beef, another one of your faves.
Another great ex-Iowa State Bulls head coach.
426, 115, and 155. PJ Carlissimo, 431, including 4 playoff appearances, 239 and 315. Tark, 9 and 11. Remember, he went and coached the Spurs. Rick Pitino, 466. Brad Stevens, 559.
Yeah, he's been good.
And number one, Billy Donovan, 605, 231 and 151. 4 appearances in the playoffs. Every year he's been there, I believe.
It's almost like the first year didn't count when he had Durant and Westbrook. He gets no credit for that because they came up short.
Right.
And in fairness,
well, with Russ, they've gone. But anyway, I read this article. Chris Harry did a terrific article on him.
This is the impressive
Oklahoma
year because
City.
they turned over the roster, and it seems like it's one he's probably able to coach. He probably wasn't able to really coach that other one.
And he did say they did have a great moment where somewhere he called timeout, and he was immediately had to draw up a play, and he was drawing up a play, and the players looked and said, "Coach, up here we take the ball out from the side."
Oh, when he first got there?
Yeah. He said they all started laughing. So, but he loves it. He does love it.
Yeah.
You always wonder, is he? He loves coaching in the NBA. So, and I think you're right though. He's got a team now that he's done things like when he first was hired, he went out to LA and saw Russell Westbrook. He's been down to Australia to see the big fella Adams.
He's become a good player.
Adams basically told him, listen, if I'm not shooting threes, I'm not signing it as a joke. And then Billy in the first game drew up a play for Adams to shoot a 3. So stuff like that. Anyway, it's good. He's done a great job. And better than you think, I guess, is what I'm saying. Because if you say Billy Donovan in Oklahoma City, you sort of go, well, nondescript. But no, the guy's a winner.
The NBA is in an era right now where
and you're right. Steve Kerr is.
If you're not one of those top 2 teams that the Cavs and they played 4 years in a row. I mean, what coach is going to stand out?
Right.
He's been. I bet you his record since he entered the league is every bit as good as Popovich's.
Yeah, it probably is.
And by the way, this is not a team that you would expect to be where they are in the standings. Looking at the roster,
he could get Coach of the Year votes this year.
He should. I wonder if he will.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder if he will.
And the other thing I noticed is he now has the he's garnered the respect of the NBA community. Like, nobody much talked about him early on, but they're talking about him now. So
In fact, there was some talk that he might get let go.
Yeah. So anyway, that's something else that's happening tomorrow night, and that'll be a nice night in Gainesville, and I think well deserved.
Now it's All-Star Weekend.
Arguably,
he will be there.
Yeah, it's All-Star Weekend.
Yeah, okay. I know they're dedicating the court.
Yeah, he'll be there.
I assume they did it because
family will be there.
Yeah, nice.
You know, I think his pops, who was such
that'd
a
be fun.
fixture.
I'd like to be able to get down there and get there and see Billy, but that ain't happening.
Joe, don't you Mike White haters say "Come back, Billy" chant? Okay.
Oh, good Lord.
Don't do that. Behave yourselves.
I'm wondering about the Mike White haters. I'm wondering about the halftime adjustment that he made the other day. They don't seem to really don't talk about that at all. Mike White haters are inaccurate.
Anyway, so that's going on tomorrow, so that'll be fun. We mentioned the Daytona 500. Who you got in the race? You want to pick one? Who's going to win? Exactly.
You know what? I would go, and I'm not going to sit here now and play expert, but I do know that Joey Logano's had some success down there the last 3 or 4 years and winning. One of the duels last night. I'll go with him.
All right, that's good.
How about you?
Well
You now felt the thunder, the pulse. You know the entire starting grid.
I always go with my guy with the same initials as me, Denny Hamlin.
Yeah.
DH.
I got you.
2-time winner.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking for that trifecta.
That's interesting.
I'm riding with Denny. Little Joe Gibbs racing.
Go get it.
Go get her done. Get her done, Denny. Get her done. So, all right, what are we handing out today, Beefer?
Blatten, bleatin',
Shirty, birdie, skirty, dirty.
Strudels on toasted?
Later
yeah.
Later on we'll have the tickets. This is not the ticket giveaway.
All right.
This is the 10-minute drill prize pack, which is a $25 Edwin Watts gift certificate and $50 from Kuhn Flowers, part of the Valentine's Day gift guide.
That ain't bad. Say Valentine's Day today. That's coming up with caller number 2. Caller number 2 right now at 641-1010. Make it happen. Make it happen and make it happen now.